Centaur, your kind of company.
Tonight on Ctv3 News. After months of work, the People's Constitutional Commission has launched a vigorous educational campaign now proceeds. Ministry of Agriculture works on finding new alternatives to the free cost of fertilizers. As medical bills mount, the family of Jaheim Williams receive much needed assistance. And BSI ESR donates towards relief efforts to assist those affected by Lisa. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Monday, November 14th, 2022.
Ever since I was a kid, I've dreamt of going to Mars. You can keep my dream alive.
Come with me. You cannot, under any circumstances, leave my room, okay? Only for 35 days.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with Centaur, your kind of company.
Es un hecho que tu crédito dura más con Smart. Durante estos tiempos, todos buscamos cómo minimizar nuestros gastos y ahorrar a lo máximo. Con Smart, lograr esto es fácil. Es un hecho que con Smart su crédito dura más. Puede llamar de Smart a Smart y de Smart a Digital sin discriminar al proveedor, usando su crédito promocional. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo puede usar su crédito promocional para llamar a Digital. ¿Qué significa esto? Su crédito promocional, ya que viene gratis al hacer sus recargas en temporadas de Double Ups, le otorga llamadas gratis a cualquier número nacional. Sigue con Smart y ahorra más dólares.
I met Alex on the plane. When I woke up in the morning, he was so alive.
I think they know you're lying.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with Centaur, your kind of company.
Get her off that stage.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with Centaur, your kind of company.
Tonight we're really late.
That was so much fun since the pandemic forced us on lockdown and like my online classes and it was so stressful.
Oh my gosh.
And I bet you're glad that you finally get out.
Yes, that's true. And that girl, you may let loose. I never did expect that from you. Oh, Melanie.
Well defended again by Beverly.
Everyone, this is a nice one.
George the drive and the finish. Posting up Marcus Morris.
My gosh. Looks like Kobe hit him real hard. My gosh, Melanie. Now you the top.
4 minutes and 7 of their 9 points.
You see why me? The married life. She can even enjoy her friends like in a peace.
Mind your business. Someday you might find a great guy too.
Exactly. Well, I still kind of have a crush on he cousin. Oh, no, remember the one where I danced with at the wedding?
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, well, I would have gone up down with he any day. Anyways, when we don't cause enough trouble for one night, make her walk on her out. Alright. Now I believe I have to go to that place at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Bye. Bye.
friend Melanie bring this for you on the way to work? Take it. Check it. You have to be more appreciative. You got some nice friend. And remember, nothing never happened last night, right? Right?
I love you, Jack. You have to do this for you. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Your future self will thank you.
No. I need help.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, women and girls were at the highest risk of suffering domestic violence. Domestic violence involves violence between any member of the same household. It can happen to females or males, young or old. However, the evidence has shown that women and girls face the greatest risk. That risk has heightened due to the impacts of the pandemic, including job losses, mounting stress, and restrictions to movement and recreation. We can all help to combat violence against women and girls during the COVID-19 pandemic. Just like Melanie did, you can reach out to someone who is struggling and help them to find a way out. It is never easy, but together we can fight this. Belize will not be safe until its women are safe. Secure Belize.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Ever since I was a kid, I dreamt of going to Mars. You can keep my dream alive.
Come with me. You cannot, under any circumstances, leave my room, okay? Only for 35 days.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with Centaur, your kind of company.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. In the month of October, the bill for an act to establish the People's Constitutional Commission was officially passed into law after having been read for the third time in the House of Representatives. The legislation paved the way for the formation of a body to guide the drafting of a new constitution that will enable fuller participatory democracy in Belize. That body will be engaged in widespread consultation in order to draft a new and modern constitution for Belize. Today, the People's Constitution Commission was officially launched in Belmopan, and according to Prime Minister John Briceño, the work of the commission will start as soon as possible.
We want to ensure that there's a timeline where we can have the
extensive discussions and consultations, and then some time to be able to put together the thoughts and ideas of the people. Now, it doesn't mean that what everybody says is going to be fit into a constitution. You take the ideas and the general feeling of the populace, and then you set it up within the framework of a constitution for it to be able to be presented to the people for adoption or not.
There seems to be this general idea by some groups who feel as if they should have had representation on the committee, that their voices may not be heard as loudly and as strongly as they wanted to be heard.
But this is where I differ from what you're saying. I mean, they're totally wrong. Simply because the commission as it is way too big. The commission is not going to determine what's going to be on the framework of the Constitution. It is the people. So that everybody, every group, every individual, be it political party, religious, social, whatever it is, everybody will have an opportunity to be able to present their views. And then when you take all of the views together, then you extract what is workable and what can be fashioned into a constitution that truly reflects the will of the people.
While recommendations and opinions will vary, all will be taken into consideration, says the PM.
We cannot repeat the mistakes of, for instance, in the Caribbean, what has happened before, that you come with new consultations, you present something and it's rejected. I think the biggest or probably the worst example, if you want to take, is Chile, where they had a constitution 400 pages long that the people there completely rejected. So the commissioners will have to be able to find a way how, if it is something that cannot fit, then they have to come with their recommendations. Or they can come to me as the Prime Minister and say, well, here we have two differing views and we could not get the Commission to agree. So here it is, and then you all decide how best you believe we can put it together into a legal framework that then can go on for referendum.
Important to note is that government does not have representation on the commission. However, the political parties are. For the government, it is important for the commission to remain as an independent body.
The government is not represented on the commission. What we have is the political parties that are represented, not only the PUP, but the opposition, and we even found a way how to include the smaller third parties for them to collectively get representation. So we have ensured that we are giving them their budget. It's an independent budget and they're going to manage their budget to ensure that we can try to be as independent as we possibly can. But in a small society like ours, somebody could find something to say, oh, the Prime Minister said something, or the Minister said something, or the opposition. But our objective is to try to be able to be as objective as possible and to try to stay away from the actual workings of the Commission.
For Anthony Chanona, the chair of the PCC, educating Belizeans on topics that could go through a referendum will be priority.
Three of the highest functioning government officials in this country have indicated that the will of the people will be put to a referendum. I think that was one of the greatest statements that I heard, that reassures me that the people will decide and not the political entities. If you look at the Constitution as a tree and you look at the laws as a fruit, what fruits are not available to the ordinary man and woman, rather than say, well, look at your Constitution. So one part of the education campaign, and this is all part of a process in flux. The commissioners, because they represent all sectors, we have two sectors of young people, groups, to be able to help us develop that message and that approach, that we do not go and ask anyone, what do you not like in the Constitution? They would look at you and say, well, what are you talking about? So we have to develop that, and I can assure you that the commissioners, that would be one of the first tasks we need to do. How do we go about educating our people?
The 5-part, 25-section piece of legislation covers the establishment of the commission, creates rules on the composition of the commission and appointment of members, lays out the functions and procedures of meetings, and includes administrative provisions. Jaheim Williams, we have been reporting about him since that tragic accident in Ranchito Corozal that claimed the life of one student of Centro Escolar Mexico Junior College. That accident landed Jaheim and other students, taxi driver, and medical personnel at various health centers across Belize. Today, while Jaheim remains admitted at the ICU at the Carl Houston Memorial Hospital, his peers at the Belize Adventist Junior College have been involved in various fundraiser events to assist him in paying off mounting medical bills. Today, in a short ceremony, all the monies collected from the fundraisers were handed over to Jaheim's mother, Naticia Williams.
He was around us. I mean, it's not really a big school, so he was around all of us, and he was a funny person, well, is a funny person, and he always used to make us laugh. I remember we were down there just before it happened talking about the football game and who did what, who did this, what he did, stuff like that. We had numerous activities. We had a sale for rice and beans. We had a checkpoint. We had a cupcake sale at Race Fund.
Your teachers, how did they respond to your activities?
I mean, they 100% supported us. Everyone supported the office. We had numerous, we just go to them and ask them, can we do this, and they help us in any way they can.
BAJC's Carlos Magana says the institution will stand by Jaheim until it is necessary.
When we heard about the situation, there was a huge shock. Everybody, the next day here at school was a very sad situation, very sad scenario. But due to the leadership of the SCS and coming together with the staff, they started to build a moment of what can be done. And in building up that moment, many ideas came of how and what can be done. And one of those that most impacted was when we decided to do the checkpoint. And because of the coverage that had been given to the case, I believe that the people were so willing to cooperate. And that was one of our greatest fundraiser. The student body then came up with the idea, why don't we do a sale at school? But every student would be cooperating, selling tickets for them or for people outside. And it did occur. We are a small body, but it's one family. And we did act it in that occasion as one family. So we were able to get sufficient sale, and we put all together those funds, and that's why today we were able to hand those funds to her, plus what has already been deposited, the $4,000. And that is something that for us as teachers and they as a student, we feel that is the most important act that we can do. As a school, we will continue calling on the community to be there as supportive as possible whenever we need it.
Jaheim's condition has brought the faculty and staff of the institution closer, and for his mother, the unwavering support she has received from the students shows the unity that exists at the school.
The love from the students is overwhelming. I think every day that Jaheim hears from them, it gives him the strength to just keep pushing.
Kathleen Cabañas, who is holding over for Jaheim as the secretary of the school's council society, penned down a personal poem for the 17-year-old student.
I wrote this poem on behalf of everyone and how much Jaheim really means to us. Jaheim, your designated seat is now vacant, a piece of our heart is now missing. Jahim, the incomparable friend, medicating our sadness with gladness. Useless to dig, you were treasure in our midst. Son, brother, friend, family, sharing snacks and smiles, beaming with empathy, minimizing our fears, magnifying our strengths. Our last conversations resound in our heads. Skills on the field, intellect on campus. Your gentleness clothing us like a blanket. As we wallow in the gray, we miss the color you once gave. You and your effortless humor, all the ice you would break. We can't take all the credit for the waves you've ensued. The unrestrained support is a testament of you. Your world has been capsized, and only God knows why. But we much prefer to pray over saying goodbye. Our hearts are broken for the pain you endure. But God made you a fighter, and victorious you will soar. For now, we send prayers to warm your hospital room. May God restore you. May this nightmare be over soon. We hope you build something beautiful with the pieces on the floor. We hold on to our memories, and we look forward to making more.
If you wish to assist the family financially, you can deposit your contribution to Belize bank account number 635-11005-00101 to 0001. That is registered under the Belize Adventist Junior College. 17-year-old Jahim Williams remains connected to a ventilator at the Carl Houston Memorial Hospital's intensive care unit. While Williams clings to life, his mother says he is a warrior and she is not ready to give up on her son. Today she gave us an update on Jahim's condition.
He did a couple surgeries. They were all successful, but the last one he did just had him went downhill. Jahim is on the ventilator still. He's depending on the ventilator. He's like 90-10. So we can't take him off the ventilators right now because he can't breathe on his own. So that is what he's going through right now.
What have the doctors said so far?
Well, I've asked them what will be my next option for him, and all they say that we just have to wait and see. Jahim is just a strong boy. And I know he not give up because he know everybody is behind him and praying for him. So, like I tell him every day, I say, Jahim, please not give up on me because the family and friends and the public is not giving up on you. So you just have to keep fighting.
We asked Williams what Jahim would say if he was present at the school campus today.
Jahim would have said, Ma, you know, I can't keep a good man down, right? And you know I diesel, so I want to get through this. And Jahim, he found a football. So every time I tell him, because he asked me to buy him a football boots. So I ordered the boots for him and I said, Jahim, I already have your boots. And I told him that one of the teams that he was playing with told me to tell him that he have his jersey already. He said, Ma, you don't know number 10 not for me. So all of that just gives him the strength to just keep pushing.
Jahim's prognosis is uncertain and medical doctors have told the family the next step remains unclear. Of note is that more than 1 month has passed since the fatal accident, and to date no one has been charged for the incident, and that is because cops are waiting for directives from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution to proceed. Just like fuel, the price per bag of fertilizer in Belize remains at a high price. It is a product that is widely used by farmers and, due to its high cost, often drives up the price of a commodity. The Ministry of Agriculture, though, has all the intent of finding new alternatives to defray the cost of fertilizers. Currently, farmers across the country are engaged in a number of training sessions on the preparation of organic fertilizer known as bokashi, a type of composting in which they seal food scraps and organic waste in an airtight container. As mentioned, the training is facilitated by the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, along with Resilient Rural Belize. And so far, according to the Minister of Agriculture, Jose Mai, farmers have been extremely receptive about the program.
Our technicians and our farmers right now, and if you would have been at the World Food Day activity, you'd have seen farmers actually making the fertilizer. It is very good. I use it on my farm. It's very good. We are expanding that initiative because farmers like it. It works. It's cheap because you use your materials you have at home, and it works very well. The prices of fertilizer so far have stabilized. It does not mean that if the war continues, it will not go up though. So we are monitoring fertilizer costs every single week to see how the prices are moving. If you see corn is rising, soybean price is rising. Again, all this leads to the war in Ukraine and Russia. So we have to monitor that carefully. Wheat, for example, when I saw wheat, the prices dropped the other day. They were going up. They remained stable for a while and will drop a little. So we are monitoring that carefully too.
No. Here in the north, several farmers have taken part in the program. Coming up next, Orange Wakeños celebrate World Diabetes Day. Stay tuned.
What is Amnesty 2022? An opportunity for undocumented immigrants living in Belize. Belize wants to help you to live freely and continue contributing to those communities you and your family now call home by offering a pathway to permanent residency. Why should you apply? In doing so, you remove barriers and reduce the difficulties faced living as an undocumented immigrant. Applying is easy. Go online to www.immigration.gov.bz for more information. Find out if you qualify, how to apply, what documents you need, and how to book your appointment. Be prepared. The registration period will be from the 2nd of August to the 30th of November 2022. Belize Amnesty 2022. Let's continue to build Belize together.
LG dual inverter compressor cools air faster by operating at speeds as high as 120 Hz with more stability compared to conventional models. It also saves up to 70% more energy by operating at speeds as low as 10 Hz with more stability. It reduces torque vibration down to 40% for quiet outdoor unit operation. Stable operation with low vibrations also results in increased durability.
Hurricane Lisa made landfall over a week ago, and there are still many residents who have not been able to forget its impact due to their experience and what they have lost. With that in mind, the support for those who felt the wrath of Lisa in the old capital has been overwhelming and seems to be non-stop. Most recently, BSI-ESR joined relief efforts by assisting several organizations financially.
They include, of course, City Council, who is doing a lot of work trying to clean up the city and ensuring that they're looking after, you know, the immediate needs. About $5,000 Belize dollars was given to Belize City Council today. We also gave to Red Cross. We know that Red Cross is an organization that does a lot of work in these times of emergency. As they explained today, there are a lot of immediate needs: food, water, and looking at you know, rebuilding homes. So Red Cross, of course, is one of those that was shortlisted by our donations committee. They got about $10,000 Belize dollars today. Help Page also is another charity organization that we looked at. They work with of course elderly people. They have that target group, and we thought very important to be able to give them some funds so that they are able to assist their people. That along with Sister Cecilia's home, who we know and saw on the news was severely damaged, their home, the roofs and so on. And Pathlight was the other organization today. Pathlight works and focuses on youths, at-risk youths. In Belize City, they have about 80 at-risk youths, and the stories from that, of course, we were moved by that. And of course, we wanted to contribute something to these organizations that have a plan, have a structure, and are already doing the work.
The contributions are to be used to assist those adversely impacted by the storm at the same. The milling company is also looking at offering a helping hand to some of its employees that were also hit by Lisa.
We have a relationship with all these charity organizations. It's not a one-time thing that we work with them. We've worked with them for many years in different projects. So it was fitting that we go back to these organizations that we already have a relationship with, finding out what they're doing. We're also an honorary member of Rotary Club. So we're also going to contribute something to their efforts as well. These funds that we give to these organizations are strictly for those affected by Hurricane Lisa. There were also some of our employees who were affected in the city. Some lost their roofs and their appliances, and so we're looking at those efforts and also other efforts that may arise.
BSI-ESR will be donating a total of $50,000 to the relief efforts. Globally, around 422 million people have diabetes, and 1.5 million deaths are directly attributed to diabetes every year. By 2045, unless urgent action is taken, the prevalence of diabetes in the region is expected to increase by 68%. Today, as we celebrate World Diabetes Day, the World Health Organization is calling for increased access to quality diabetes education for health and care workers, the public, and people living with diabetes as part of efforts to achieve access for all to quality, affordable diabetes care. Here in Belize, the People's Diabetes Foundation is tasked with carrying out the mandate of WHO. And with that in mind, today the organization marched through the main streets of Orange Walk Town before descending at the Orange Walk Central Park for a health fair.
We started off at the barracks where we had the Human Blue Circle. We had over 300 it was schools and community coming in. They all were wearing their hats and had their fan and had balloons. So this is actually streaming on our Facebook page, People's Diabetes Foundation, so you can see it there. The mayor came and did the grand opening. And then we did the drone shot, and then we walked out, and I'm sure the community heard us all the way we were chanting. We had the New Hope band playing, and we also had the CDC band playing. We had the BDF joining us. We had Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health. We had several schools, New Hope, Solomon. I don't want to miss one, so I better not name them right now. It's just been, and then we came back to the park where we had a health fair with many other businesses. It was pharmaceutical, wholesale, like James Brody's. We had, like I said, several pharmacists giving different samples. We had our booth out there. We had FM, Rainbow FM broadcasting, and we're streaming with Ben Royce. And what we did was we also had a raffle. And so the people came out, and we sent the message that access to diabetes care, if not now, when?
4 lucky winners went home with a prize in hand. Mendes says the tickets were pre-sold since September, and the association wanted everyone to see the transparency in choosing the winners.
We had all the tickets in a big container, and their tickets have been going on since September. So we put all the tickets in, and we're on stage. We picked 4 winners. We had 4 raffle tickets. 4 prizes. And the big winner, which was a bicycle, is someone from Paraiso. I can't remember the name, so I don't want to name it right now. We had the second prize was a 5-tank butane gas, which was from somebody from Belize City. We had the $100 Save Mart grocery store groceries. It just had a name, so I don't know where it's from. And then the fourth prize was $50 towards a utility bill, and also was just a name. So a name, so I don't know where to come from. But we had 4 winners, and I said we're closing up now. But overall, I would say we are very happy with how. Watch us, see what it is. The color blue is for diabetes. Diabetes is not just about November 14. Diabetes is about the whole month of November. It's about everyday living with diabetes.
World Diabetes Day is being celebrated globally under the theme Education to Protect Tomorrow. Beltrade and the Office of the Prime Minister closed off what can only be deemed as a successful national, micro, small, and medium enterprises roadshow last month, and are now well underway to award 5 small businesses a whopping $5,000 each. The businesses will be awarded under Beltrade's first Entrocon Awards ceremony to be held on November 25th, 2022 at the Belize Civic Center.
This is the 6th year that Beltrade will be hosting the National Entrepreneurship Convention, and we refer to it as Entrocon. It's one of our signature events that's organized in partnership with the Office of the Prime Minister. And so this event looks at having key stakeholders, experts share about the different opportunities available for entrepreneurs. And so this year, under the theme of empowering MSME in the disruptive era, we decided to host Beltrade Entrocon Awards. And if you've been following our pages, you'll note that we've been having several pitch competitions. So this award looks at 4 key areas that applicants can submit their pitch for. We're looking at Great Blue Entrepreneur of the Year, Sustainable Entrepreneur of the Year, Creative Entrepreneur, Youth Entrepreneur, and then, of course, Disruptor of the Year. So those are some of the categories that we have a part of the Entrocon Awards 2022. There's questions that we ask specific to each category that you submit your award for, and it's a 2-minute pitch that you do. So we look at having you share with us what is your business, the different products or service that you offer, and basically how you're contributing to that specific economy, or if you're a youth, how are you a trailblazing youth, how you're impacting your local community, and basically why you feel you deserve to win this award, and an ability to show us that this is a viable business that you're participating in.
Monique Usher, Beltrade's manager, says that Entrocon visions healthy economic development for small business in a changing Belize, and that is why a special event is also listed to take place in the days ahead for women.
The Entricon event, it's the sixth annual Entricon event that we'll be hosting. It will be at the Belize Civic Center. And this year, the theme is empowering MSMEs in a disruptive era. And so Entricon is an event that's threefold. We have the convention that takes place. For the Entricon convention, we actually have speakers come in, share about their entrepreneurial journey. We also have key government representatives talk about the different incentives and opportunities that the government is looking at creating for entrepreneurs, MSMEs. And we also have a business expo that takes place on the day of Entricon, where we have entrepreneurs showcasing their products and services. And this year, it's going to be a very exciting time for us. We're also looking at hosting our first orange cocktail, whereby we have women who will be performing the different songs that they have written and playing for the general public to get an idea of what, Belize has to offer in terms of talent.
The theme for the event is empowering MSMEs in the disruptive era. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Tuesday, November 15th here on Ctv3 and Face FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.